from nzpocketguide.com. And since we're doing a really long road trip today, we thought we'd talk to you about the 10 best ways to keep your kids entertained during a road trip, especially in New Zealand, since there are plenty of long drives when traveling around the country. And since Robin is our expert in entertainment, he's very good at keeping us all entertained during long road trips and always comes up with lots of games. I'll be passing most of the points on to Robin and he'll explain a lot of them. He'll go into details. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, number one on our list of best ways to keep the kids entertained during a long road trip is to play some open-ended question games.
So yeah, we do have a long list that we carry with us in the car. Actually, Laura will be able to show you that long list. And we have really a lot of them in there. And yeah, so what those questions are, they're all really open-ended questions that is meant to spark a bit of a discussion. So things are pretty generic, like, you know, what things would you do only once? And then, you know, everybody in the car will give an answer, and you know, usually it sparks a little bit of a discussion between all the different answers. So yeah, we have a lot of them, and we actually make all those lists and all those games available to our Patreon subscribers. So if you join us on Patreon, you will get like over 200 of those, which is quite cool. Anyway, here's some examples that you guys can have. Laura, do you want to read a couple?
All right, so we have name something you waste. Name a place you would see someone wearing a towel. Name a country that belongs with the letter S.
Begins
with the letter S.
All right, so that's just kind of like some of those kind of questions. Yeah, some of them are more like, you know, obviously close-ended, and you've got to come up with one. And obviously, it's always smarter to let the kids go first. You know, so like that they do have the widest range of options possible, and then the adults can go in the end. Okay, yeah, that's it for this one. What's next, Laura?
Okay, next up we have play road trip bingo.
Okay, so this one will require a little bit more preparation, but basically make some bingo boards, you know, before you leave, and then print them. And what I would suggest is to actually make the first one with actually something written on each of the squares, but then make the other one blank. And every day you can kind of assign one of the kids to actually write down like the thing they can see, you know, while on the road, to be able to do their lines, right? And everybody can kind of write down their you know, the thing that they need to spot during the road trip. And the more they know New Zealand and they know their road in New Zealand, the more they're going to be basically good at it. And so they're going to write, like, for example, like, I want to see a yellow sign with a kiwi bird on it. I want to see like a rest stop sign. I want to see you know, like, I don't know, a milk truck. You know, just all those kind of things. And so the more they know that, I want to see sheep. Duh, you're gonna see sheep. Put that in the middle of your bingo. And so yeah, so you do those one, and kids will be able to tick them on their own, and yeah, and get more ownership of it as well.
Okay, number 3 on our list is to play Just One.
Okay, so Just One is kind of it's a popular board game, so you're more than welcome to actually buy the board game yourself, or you can just play it like kind of verbally. So here's how you play the game. So everybody writes down like a big bunch of words. So, you know, every morning you get everybody to write like 10 words on a piece of paper, right? And then when it's your turn, you pick that piece of paper, and you don't look at it, but you show it to everybody else. So even the driver will be able to play that as you know, the co-driver, the co-pilot will be able to do that for them and kind of like show it to everybody. And then everybody will have to come up with just one word in order to help everybody to help that person guess the word. So everybody can only say one word. So for example, if my word is milk, so I don't know that's milk, maybe Laura is going to say cow, then the other one is going to say cheese, and the other one is going to say drink. And then at that point, well, I need to come up with only one guess. So everybody can only say one word, and the guesser can only guess one word. And so it's a game that can be kind of played relatively kind of quickly, but it gets quite fun. It gets quite competitive, especially when you start getting into a little bit more complex kind of word. And also you have some agency when it's your own word that you wrote, right? So if one of the kids is kind of like one of their own words, they may have been cheeky or something. So yeah, they have a lot of ownership into the game as well, because they participate in both the building of the game and the playing as well.
Yeah, that's what we've played a lot, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Play Family Feud.
Okay, so similarly to all the questions that we were talking about, so similar like open-ended questions, but at that point what you do is that you prepare it ahead of time. So you make a list of like, let's say 50 kind of open-ended questions, and you get everybody to actually answer all those questions before your trip. And then you'll be able to kind of rank which are the answers that came up the most, and then you ask people to, when you ask the question, guess what has been said the most, or guess an answer that was said right here but it wasn't yours. Obviously you cannot guess your own. And yeah, it is kind of really fun because you kind of know the answer of 4 different people. It works really well. It is quite a lot of fun, and usually it's like, Mom, why did you say that? It's kind of fun.
All right, next up on the list, we have add lots of pit stops.
Yeah, so New Zealand is full of amazing little pit stops. There is a ton of very short hikes, there is a ton of really short walks. We actually highlight all of them on nzpocketguide.com, which is our travel guide, and coincidentally New Zealand's largest travel guide. So yeah, so adding stops along the way is definitely a good way to make the drive feel short, because you're never that far, you know, you're always only less than 30 minutes next, you know, toward the next kind of places to stop. And there's plenty of things to stop, from you know, roadside real food ice creams to short little walks to viewpoints and etc. And obviously major attraction as well. So add a lot of road stop, make the road trip like fun and entertaining.
Absolutely. So next on the list we have make them choose a playlist.
Yeah, so obviously giving ownership to the kids into the road trip is always a great way to increase their engagement with it and their happiness during the road trip. And so a great way to do that is to get them to actually be the DJ for the day. So, you know, if you have multiple kids, obviously split the days evenly, but get them to actually choose the playlist, and you know, it can spark some discussion and ask them why they like that song. Like, why on earth would you like Baby Shark for 7 hours? You know, so yeah, just I'm sorry, Baby Shark starts playing in my head now.
Oh, no.
It's so annoying. Anyway, yeah, so it's a great way to kind of get everybody kind of involved, and you know, it doesn't have to be for the whole day. It can be an hour, it can be 2 hours, and it's fine. All those ideas can be sprinkled throughout the days.
Yeah. Okay, next we have learn a new language.
So there are some really great apps that can actually teach you new languages. And so apps like Duolingo, and again, it is not a sponsored video whatsoever, so you don't have to go for this one, go for another one. But actually playing that out loud for everybody in the car to together learn that new language. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a great way to spend your time when you are going on a road trip. So yeah, if you're going on a road trip, no matter where you are in the world, it can be a US road trip where you have lengthy drives of like 6 or 7 hours. Just get that practice in, and it's really good for the brain as well. So for both adults and kids alike, it's a great thing to do.
Yeah. What language would you learn while traveling in New Zealand?
I think I'd dabble in Japanese. I want to go hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I would go for Te Reo Maori, because that's the local language of New Zealand.
I mean, that makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Then you can figure out why certain places around New Zealand are called the way they are. It's usually to describe what the place is.
You put way more thought into that than I did, I guess.
Okay, next up we have pick really random snacks and drinks.
So New Zealand is full of really weird foods. You know, every time you travel, no matter if you are in New Zealand or elsewhere, right? Every time you travel, there is always like those local foods, those local snacks. Sorry. So when you go in the supermarket, pick like 2 or 3 things that you haven't seen at home, and you know, have this like 15 minutes of like, okay, guys, we're gonna try a weird snack today. And just have that and then kind of chat about it and everything. So, you know, pick 3 snacks and have like a 15 minutes kind of snacking on something weird from New Zealand. It can be snacks, it can be drinks. Just let's try something together, you know what I mean?
All right, our final one on the 10 best ways to keep your kids entertained during a road trip is to get each person to make a top 5 list about the previous day.
yeah, so that's a really cool one because it really gets everybody really engaged and involved within said trip and kind of also talk together about things they really like, right? So in the morning before setting off, give everybody a pen and a piece of paper and get them to write the 5 things they like the most about the previous day. And then when you are on the road and when you're all chatting, you know, do that top 5. So everybody does their number 5. So, you know, you start with the little one on the back. What was your number 5 on your list? And then say what they liked and why they liked it. And then you get, you know, the bigger one to do that. And then you get Laura, and then you get me, and so on. And you know, and so you kind of go over the things that you really enjoyed about the day, which will help everybody kind of cement in their head the experience of said day, enjoy, you know, the whole trip better, because every day you remember what you liked from the day before. You spark some discussions, some conversations. Oh yeah, that was really cool. Oh, I forgot about the ice cream, and so on. And you can even keep all those little pieces of paper, and you'll be able to kind of remember, like, you know, let's say you're traveling 10 days in New Zealand, you'll be able to have your top 50 things that you did in New Zealand, and you can revisit that like 6 months down the line and kind of remember that you did this. And it's kind of a really cool thing, a cool way to have also a memento and you know, a de facto journal of your trip in New Zealand and get everybody really excited about it.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I'm in for this road trip.
Alright everybody, don't forget to hit like and subscribe as per usual. Check nzpocketguide.com if you're planning an epic trip to New Zealand. We're here to have your back, and yeah, share this video along.
See you next time.
Bye bye.